David, you were responsible for having the velodrome built, which is a world-class facility. People come from all over the world to race on it, up in Trexlertown. You were one of the original innovators, the idea makers, and you and I were having this conversation here at the Doubletree talking about cycling and talk about the World Cycling League and your vision of part of the future of the sport that includes an indoor velodrome training center and how a place like Reading, Pennsylvania could become a hub for the cycling community and the community at large if we had such a facility. Let's talk a little bit about that dream and vision.
Well, Dave, if you look at any sports, that have succeeded, they have three things. They have the participants, obviously, people that are excited about it. They have equipment, and they have facilities. Cycling is the one sport that's huge, global, and big in this country that really is short on facilities. Tennis has tennis centers, golf has golf courses, skiing has ski areas, and for a sport to really build its following and to really create continuity, it needs facilities. And an indoor velodrome is exactly what the sport needs, and particularly in locations where we are, where there's a long winter and it's cold and you can't get outside. So we, originally, and this goes back to my Trexlertown days, is that, we really want a focal point. You want a focal point for cycling. And I can't tell you how many communities I've talked to around the country that have said, well, we have so many cyclists out here. They're all riding along, and they need a velodrome. What is a velodrome? How does that work? What is that? So we really have focused on that, and that's something that for our World Cycling League to really take off, we need a world headquarters, and we need it on the East Coast. We believe that the United States can lead the sport in the development of a new league concept. When you walk down the street and you ask somebody, well, what's football? They say, oh, it's the NFL. What's golf? They say, oh, it's PGA. You say, what's cycling? And they go, I don't know. Maybe it's that Tour de France, or, oh, yeah, the Olympics is coming up. Don't they have that in the Olympics? So what's missing in cycling is the league concept. And that's where we are with the World Cycling League. And we talked about that before, but the World Cycling League needs arenas. It needs stadiums. Not stadiums, but arenas, small arenas. And what we've really focused on is that we believe that the World Cycling League and cycling in general will really benefit from custom-designed facilities that cater to the community need for year-round and winter, particularly cycling. So, but as anybody knows, you have to have an anchor for a facility. Your facility right here as a minor league hockey team or whatever, basketball team. So our philosophy and our plans, and we've really researched this, we know the cost and everything else, is to create a small multi-purpose arena with cycling as the anchor activity. And a lot of people say, well, you can't make that full-time. Cycling will never be full-time. Well, okay, I'll agree with you, but I think it can be. But the point is we have designed this so that it can accommodate all kinds of other things. So the infield is about 30,000 square feet, so you can do concerts, you can do other sports, all kinds of sports, gymnastics, boxing, wrestling, basketball, tennis, tournaments, and have these in a small, intimate setting of 2,500 people. A regional basketball tournament or a regional tennis match may not fill a 10,000-seat arena. In fact, you don't even want to put them in a 10,000-seat arena because it looks empty. So if you can put them in a smaller arena, that's great. And then we've also looked at what does a cycling arena and a velodrome really need today? Well, we're big believers in entertainment. We think that cycling is a very entertaining sport. You know that. It can be very exciting, head-to-head competition, rough and tumble. It's great stuff. And to have a velodrome designed from the ground up with that in mind means that you build in the right sound and lighting. You create the infield atmosphere for a beer garden, when the races are going on, which is a very popular, unique feature of cycling. You have your built-in scoreboards, you have your video screens, all of those things geared towards what's happening in the infield or what's happening on the track. And so, I don't think there are many facilities built like that. And for us, having a world headquarters of the World Cycling League means that we really don't have to go anywhere else. I mean, all of the racers would come and live here. We could run our whole league out of one velodrome. It's like a basketball game. You don't care. The basketball court's the same wherever you go, but it's the teams that are playing. So and this is where it's a real boon to a place like Reading, is you have these athletes coming in from all over the world to live here, to race, to be seen all over, we broadcast the races worldwide, to be seen racing and competing against other teams. and then they also serve as your coaches for your kids programs. We started this up in Trexlertown. We brought in the Pennsylvania. We brought in the Olympic team. We had them living there, and we started this developmental program. I created the program 40 years ago, the Air Products Developmental Program, to put like 10,000 kids through it and produced 18 Olympians and hundreds of national champions. And that's what you can do, particularly when you have the excitement of the top-end competition. And I always say, kids don't get excited about baseball when they walk down the street and they see a Sandlot game. They get excited when they turn on the TV and they see the World Series, And when you have that kind of environment and that kind of excitement, kids will fall all over to do this, And it's a great, great opportunity to create an identity for a community. And I think, Reading is perfect for this. This is not something that you put in the center of Philadelphia. It's not something that you put in a, major city where there's all kinds of other things competing for the entertainment dollar. This is where you can create a unique identity. And if you you already have a great start with the Reading 120, and you've got all kinds of bike paths, and you've got the mountain bike trails. Why not create a world headquarters velodrome, and for that matter, a world national cycling park where you've got the velodrome, you've got, cyclocross courses, you've got all that, and, this area is perfect for it. It's easy to get to. It's, within, the reach of how many hundreds of millions of people, and millions. And I just think it would be, a phenomenal thing.
Well, we've got one of the nation's finest rail trails just a few blocks down the street along the Schuylkill River from where we're sitting here at the Doubletree, Reading by Hilton. We've got the mountains of Never Sink and Mount Penn just here to our east, a few blocks away, where the Berks Area Mountain Bike Association is now hosting a world-class, once-a-year Reading downhill, Duryea downhill. Excuse me. Good to see that. They're amazing, really. And then we've got all these great roads, as you said, and so it seems to me that what you're saying has a lot of merit. And if anybody's interested in this conversation, taking this dialogue a little bit further, how can they reach out to you?
Well, the best thing to do is reach out on our website. You can actually we have a way where you can sign up, and we'll hear from you. info@worldcyclingleague.com, and you get on the list, and I usually read all the emails that come in, so I'd be more than happy to respond to anybody who shows interest in this kind of thing. But I think it's a great opportunity. It really is, and it's one of these rare, undiscovered opportunities that has, I think, tremendous potential. And you can attest firsthand, and I can tell you all around the country, people are saying, "Oh, those guys on bicycles! I see more and more of them all the time," and the velodrome provides an education location too, where you can teach people the proper skills and the proper etiquette. It's a focal point that brings people together.